Good morning. As you're taking a ride this morning, riding with the King on the Howard Eskin Show. It is, I want to call it Confession Saturday. You get it all out of your system, what you really think. But obviously, we'll talk about today's an Eagles game. So technically, we can call this an Eagles pregame show. Uh, find out your thoughts. There's no way uh, there's no way you can think the Eagles are going to lose this game. No way, no way. Washington is not a good team. Even though Nick Sirianni said the other day, he used the word respect 4 times within a 30-second span, talking about Washington. They're not that good. Oh, they played a lot of close games this year. Well, yeah, and they played 6 games that they lost by an average of 23 points. All right, so stop. They're not a good team. Uh, it just they're not a good team. And the Eagles, I don't care if it's on the road or not, they're not a good team. All right, it's you and me. We'll get your thoughts and your comments. Marc Lawrence will join us. Uh, what with the Eagles game are you looking for tonight's game? Two Saturday games today. It's the NFL. The NFL can't help themselves making more money. Another day of television for NFL football. They can't help it. They can't help it. They can't stop themselves. Uh, but Saturday games, I, I I don't need a Saturday game. We're used to having football on Sundays, but whatever. It's a Saturday game. There's no such thing that creates a problem as a short week. Oh, the Eagles have a short week where they have a mini bye. It's just all these terms, but players are so used to. They don't even practice that hard during the week. They don't even practice that hard. So, what's the difference if it's a short week, if it's a mini bye? Mini bye. That term is so overused. If they have extra days before the game, it doesn't matter. It's What's the difference between 6 or 7 days? It's really no difference because they don't practice that much. But what are you looking for in this game? I think, as I said, I think it should be an easy game for the Eagles. I wouldn't lay the points. I'm not laying 7 points because I don't think the Eagles offense is good enough to lay 7 points. But whatever the case, um, does the Rams losing give you more hope that the Eagles are a Super Bowl team? The Rams are a better team than the Eagles, whether they play them here or they play them in Los Angeles, but they would get a bye. And if the Eagles got that far, they would have to play them in Los Angeles. So, does that give you more hope? But don't sleep on Seattle. Everybody's just, oh, I think the Rams are a better team than Seattle. Uh, and the Rams allowed themselves to lose that game. And it's their fault, even though I think the officials made a mistake on the 2 point fumble. I don't know exactly what the rule is, but if it's during the game, you can't advance a fumble inside a certain yard line. And certainly from the 2 yard line, you can't advance a fumble. If it was, you couldn't advance a fumble if it was regular play. So I don't know what that rule is. Matthew Stafford pointed that up after the game. Uh, but whatever. It's the Rams that now have to play 3 straight road games because I don't think there's any way. Believe it or not, San Francisco can actually win that division, and they played an easy schedule. They got a break. I don't think. Number one, they would play if they played in a Super Bowl. If they won the division and they played in a Super Bowl, I think it would be 3 straight games at home because the Super Bowl is out at their stadium and outside San Francisco. So, but I can't. San Francisco can't get to the Super Bowl. Give me a break. Uh, I see there's a lot of people listening from a lot of different areas of the country. Cape Coral, Florida. I guess Ted's down in Cape Coral a lot. There's somebody from New York City I saw. Um, where else is? Let me see if there's other Clearwater, Florida. Uh, uh, Cosmo Cosmic Graham from Clearwater, Florida, from New York City. And happy Hanukkah to those celebrating, and a Merry Christmas coming up. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and you can join the show. I'm also today going to talk about the Phillies, which we should, even though it's an Eagles pregame show. Salary dump, alert. This is an alert, a salary dump by trading Matt Strahm for a career minor league pitcher, up and down. I looked at his career over at least the last 3 years. The pitcher they got from Kansas City for Matt Strahm has been up and down in the minor leagues the last 3 years. Stinks. All right. But Matt Strahm is going to make over $7 million a year this year. That's called a salary dump. Does it make him a better team? No, it doesn't make him a better team. What are they going to use that money for? No idea. No idea what they're going to use that money for. But that money's not a lot to make a difference, because it's obvious now that there's many teams that don't want Nick Castellanos, and they're going to have to eat to get rid of him. They're going to have to eat most of his $20 million. So that's going to cost them. Brad Keller, one good year in the last 4 or 5 years, the relief pitcher they got. Oh, it's a good setup guy. Yeah, one good year last year. And he had like 3 or 4 years before that. So we can talk about that. But the main thing, did they improve their lineup? By getting Garcia, did they improve their lineup? I believe, this is just my feeling, that his numbers this coming year will not be better than the numbers, because Nick Castellanos can say what you want, and he, complains and bitches and moans when he's taken out for defense, and that's not a good thing. However, his numbers, I think, will be better than Garcia's numbers that he'll have this year. So again, you can join the show if you so desire. I'll touch on the Sixers later. They won a game against maybe the best team in the division, in the Knicks. However, the NBA is such a scam. Oh my gosh, it's a scam. The Sixers had basically 5 days off, and that was a lock last night to take the Sixers, getting, I think it was 6.5 points or 7 points. It was a lock. The Knicks were playing their third game in 4 nights off a back-to-back. And the NBA knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing when they put that schedule out there, because they don't want the Sixers to fall, because it's a major market team. They don't want them to fall too far behind. They played on equal grounds. The Sixers would lose 10 out of 10 games to the Knicks if it was equal ground. So I know Sixers fans, they beat the Knicks. Beat the Knicks playing 3 games in 4 nights, and the Sixers had 5 days off. And Joel Embiid, again, took another day off. Collecting that paycheck, that's all that matters. So we can talk about all those things. I don't know if there's anybody on the line. Is there anybody on the line, Joe? Okay, I saw somebody click in earlier. And as I said, Marc Lawrence will join us. But I think one of the things, when you look at this Eagles game tonight, Jalen Hurts had a good game against a high school team last week. But Washington, they're struggling this year, but Washington is a better team. Absolutely. I don't think anybody's going to dispute that. A better team than the Raiders. The Raiders are an embarrassment. They are a total embarrassment. So, all right. The one thing, one of the things that I want to talk about before we move on in the show is I want to thank our presenting sponsor and mention our presenting sponsor, as you see it up there on the screen. Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff Stillwell knows his stuff, and every day. It seems like something changes in the world of money, finance. It's just every day it changes, and Jeff Stillwell can help you navigate through that because he knows what he's doing. He's a great guy, and he knows what he's doing. And every time I talk to him, I learn something. 732 343 0813. 732 343 0813. Stillwell Financial Advisors. There's other things that we need to know about Flyers on the road for a while. I think during this time, the Xfinity Mobile Arena has Disney on Ice, so the Sixers and the Flyers will be on the road, I guess, for a while during the Christmas week. But whatever the case may be, I still like the Flyers' grit. They lost their last game. I still like their grit. I like their toughness, and I like the way they are progressing at getting to be a better team. All right. I want to also thank some of our other sponsors and partners. I call them partners because they are partners. And I stopped over at Piazza Property Pros to say hello to all the great folks over there. And we put something together with the big guy, Jim Piazza.
All right, this is Jim Piazza. I'm here with Howard Eskin, the king.
You're the real Jim Piazza?
Yes, I am. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
You should know we redid your pool. All right, so Howard, how did we do for you at your house? We did a pool renovation, some equipment repair, some tile work, some masonry work. How do you think we did?
Beyond phenomenal. Now, I use big words not that often, but no, it was seriously, it was a great job. You guys are very meticulous and efficient, and the work, I don't know of anybody else that could do a better job than Piazza Property Bros has done. And Jim, I don't know how the fact is that you're a big part of it, and I still can't understand that, but that's a good thing. No, everything is great, and I would recommend Piazza Property Pros in any work, front yard, backyard, pool, renovation, fencing, whatever it is, they can do it.
Awesome, Howard. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was an honor to do business
Thanks for being
the king.
a partner.
Thank you.
And their number 610-566-2608, 610-566-2608, piazzaoutdoor.com. Also, still can get a great deal at Audi Westchester. Stopped over there, I guess yesterday. Kind of lose track of the days sometimes. 2025 A5, new redesigned A5, 1.99% financing for up to 72 months. The all-new remodeled 2025 Q5 SUV, 1.99% financing up to 72 months. It's finance rates are higher in the world we live in right now, but that is a great deal. 1421 Wilmington Pike, 1421 Wilmington Pike. Do not wait. These are great deals, only available this month. And there's not much time left to this month with a holiday. And obviously, they won't be open on Christmas Day. They'll be celebrating just like you are. But great deals. Check it all out. AudiWestchester.com. All right, there's some interesting games, but here's the thing with the Eagles. If they win, first of all, they're good. Not first of all, second of all, third of all. I use that phrase, and I shouldn't. They're going to win the division. So we know that. The Cowboys, even though I think the Cowboys are going to win on Sunday against the Chargers, the Eagles are going to win the division. So that's not the only thing they're playing for is the best record. And I don't think they can get the best record now. They can if Seattle loses their last two and the Eagles win all three. I don't know what the tiebreaker is, but they're not going to get the best record. So I think it's a long shot to get the best record. So one of those games, if they go and play three games, and they're going to play 3 games. So the first two will probably be at home, and then if they have to play in the NFC Championship, that's going to be on the road. But they're going to win the division. That is a given. So that's not even a big deal, regardless of what happens. It's just hard to think that they could screw it up. The other thing I want to do is give away, or not. I'm going to give away a pair of Oakley sunglasses today, but I want to talk about our winner from the last show, who won a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate, Rob Schaffner. And Rob answered the question. I made it really simple. When I had Colleen Wolfe from the NFL Network, who's from Philly, and I've worked with her, she always had a name for me other than the King and the other names that people use, to try to tear me down. She called me Sunshine. And I asked that question, and that's what she calls me. And Rob answered, one of the many people that submitted their answer to my website. He got it right and was selected at random. And Rob, congratulations on winning. Enjoy the meal at Chickies and Pete's. Congratulations on winning the Chickies and Pete's gift certificate. And I said later in the show we'll have a question to win a pair of Oakley sunglasses. So it's all good. It's all good. And like I said, we'll touch on the Phillies and we'll touch on the Sixers. I'm going to ask Marc Lawrence. That's the first question I'm going to ask him. And it's not going to be about football. But let's welcome Marc Lawrence in to take a look at the weekend football. Marc, how are you this morning?
Hey, I'm doing just terrific, Howard. How are you?
Good. All right. I made a point, and I ignore the NBA for most of the season, but it was the NBA are frauds. They're frauds in so many different ways. The way they schedule, they like to make sure that teams who they know are better are going to lose once in a while to another team in the division. Last night, the Sixers, after having 5 days off, five days off, 2 straight weeks, they've had 5 days off. The Knicks played their third game in 4 nights off a back-to-back. There was no way. That was a lock last night, even though the Knicks are clearly a much better team than the Sixers. There's no way that the Knicks were going to win that game, even though it was in New York. When you look at 3 games in 4 nights, there is a high percentage for the team playing the third game in 4 nights to lose that game. Forget about covering. They were like, I think, a 6.5 or 7-point favorite. So that there's a high percentage of those teams losing. Is that correct?
Yes, there is. And that's one of the reasons that Vegas sees it, recognizes it, and compensates for it. So there's usually 2 or 3 points in the spread line because of a scheduling situation just like that. Yes, there is.
But the Knicks were still 6.5-point favorites. And it's just they got outscored in the second half by, when they're out of gas, and outscored by 8 and 5, 13 points in the second half when they had no gas left in the tank. It's just, that was a lock last night to take the Sixers.
That and the fact they were coming off of that ridiculous NBA Cup win
Tuesday night, yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, the NBA schedules an NBA Cup during the regular season, all for the purpose of ringing the register for the NBA during the regular season to keep interest in the sport. They're turning into the NFL. The NBA is here real quick.
Yeah, it's a. I mean, people still don't even know it. What is the NBA? It's just more money for the team. It doesn't guarantee you anything else except more money for the team. I think it might guarantee you it may guarantee a playoff spot, but a team that's going to go all the way is going to be in the playoffs. Everybody makes the playoffs anyway.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look. There was one real college game last night, and that was Alabama, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma was kind of a fraud, but whatever. They blew a 17-point lead. But there's 3 more games of significance today in college football. How do you look at today in college football?
Well, you've got, I think, a real nice situation here with Tulane against Ole Miss. And well, I'll say this before I get into the game, that until last night's loss by Oklahoma in these college football playoff games, the home teams had won and covered every game. That was only using last year as a result, and it snapped last night. So you're going into taking Tulane into Ole Miss into that particular situation. But I think there's a real valid case for taking a look at Tulane in this football game tonight. Number one, it's revenge from a 35-point loss they took at Ole Miss right here at the scene of the crime earlier this year in September. And number two, you've got a head coach in John Sumrall from Tulane who decided to stay with the team all the way through the postseason here. Unlike the creep from Ole Miss who took the money from LSU and ran away from his team. So you've got a motivated team here in Tulane with the big revenge chip on their shoulder, the biggest loss Summerall's taken in his career, taking 17 and a half points, which is more points than they took when they lost here the first time. I think it's a big value play for Tulane in this football game.
Wait a minute. Lane Kiffin said he didn't even know what his contract numbers were at his news conference. He could have probably. I mean,
Yeah.
what a fraud! What a fraud! I will root against him every game now because he's such a phony. Such a phony to say that. Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm getting. Oh, you really don't. Oh, you don't check with your agent Jimmy Sexton. Oh yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, stop. It happened to be the most that any team offered just by sheer coincidence. So
Yes,
yeah,
really.
I know what a phony. Do you like anybody else today?
Well, yeah, I would also make a case for James Madison against Oregon today. I know Oregon's a big hot commodity in the college football bowl playoff. The team with the chip on their shoulder who feels they have a better team this year than they did last year, yada yada yada. But in James Madison, they're the team of all the FBS teams that made this group ahead of Tulane. Even two of them did, who dominated their opponents by yardage per game more than any team in the country this year. They won their games by an average stat margin of 240 yards a game. They can play. James Madison can play. And Oregon had better bring their A game here because I think they're going to find that out. I like them plus the points there in that game as well. But the other game I like pretty well is also today is Texas A&M against Miami of Florida. You've got the Aggies here at home, obviously. And what you've got here in Miami of Florida is number one, a team that does not bowl well at all. The last 15 times they've been in a bowl game, they've only won twice and only covered the spread two times. I think they're the fraud, Miami of Florida is. Texas A&M is coming off of their first loss of the season with plenty of time to get ready for this game. And again, another home team here in the college football playoff here. I think Texas A&M destroys Miami of Florida.
Mark, I don't know. This is different this year because you have more teams in the playoff. It's not just some Mickey Mouse bowl game. But the reality is, is there a better percentage for underdogs or favorites? And again, it's different this year than it has been in the past because of the situation.
Yeah, it used to be when handicapping the bowl games was a real simple, non-complicated process, and they've taken that away because of all this garbage that they're doing right now. And basically what it amounted to was what you call minor bowl games and major bowl games. Major bowl games were the games that played on New Year's Day or later. The minor games are everything before. So when you're talking minor league bowl games, you're talking group of 5 teams that are playing, but you're looking for a group of 5 teams today that are playing that are thrilled to be in these bowl games. And then again, you're looking for teams that are from the group of 5 level, group of 4 level, that are perhaps a little bit disappointed in being where they're at. So it kind of makes a new twist into handicapping these bowl games. So you got to be careful about what it is you're doing and what fire it is that you're jumping into. But one instance I could call out would be Tuesday when Louisville plays Toledo. Louisville had the ACC lead going into the month of November, and they kind of plateaued out. They only had one loss going in, and they really plateaued out. They fell into the Boca Raton Bowl rather than playing in the ACC title to possibly make the playoff. And you got a Toledo football team that closed like a freight train. They won their last 4 football games they played. They bring a lot of really good numbers here. I know it's a MAC team to an ACC team, but this is the epitome of a team that's thrilled to be in a bowl game as opposed to one that doesn't want to be there.
When you look at the games, and again, it's different because it's teams waiting for teams that just played. I don't know if there's an advantage, but usually a bye week or a week off. It gets you some rest. But I'm interested. How many points do you think Indiana? That game is Thursday. Indiana, they'll all be this week, all the playoff games. Indiana will be favored against Alabama. It's got to be double
Not by
digits,
many,
right?
Howard.
It's got to be.
Not by
Oh,
many.
really?
Alabama still carries a lot of weight. We saw that in the game at Oklahoma last night. They were actually the favorite in that game up until yesterday, before going into when it switched to Oklahoma, the small favorite. But you got Indiana here. I don't think you're going to see Indiana 3 or 3.5 points here. I really don't.
Really?
Maybe you might see 4, but I think there's still a lot of respect for Alabama. And you've also got that famous Heisman
Oh,
Trophy
that's right.
jinx working against Indiana in the game, where the guy who wins the Heisman, the quarterback from that team, really tends to struggle. Those teams do, having just beat Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country, and now they've taken that number 1 spot. I think it's going to be a real tough game for Indiana to have to get past Alabama, and I personally
All
do.
right. And who do you think is going to be the national champion?
Well, I think you can make a case. I want to make a strong case for Texas Tech. The problem with Texas Tech is this: their strength of schedule is not that much, but boy, they destroy everybody that's in their path. And we said it from the beginning of the football season. They brought back 21 starters from last year, more than any team in the country. Those starters were not so much truly starters, but they were teams that they recruited other starters from other teams in this NIL stupid buying world that we're living
I
in.
know.
So it equated to 21 starters for Texas Tech. They're going to be a real tough team to beat, Texas Tech, because of all the oil money that backs that team. It wouldn't surprise me at all to find Texas Tech in the finals, but I also think that Ohio State is going to bounce back off of that tough loss they had. I think Ohio State could play themselves down deep into this tournament, this playoff
It's
here as
probably
well.
better that a team has a loss and they're still involved in it, because then there's less pressure to have an undefeated season. You agree or disagree?
Absolutely. That's what Ohio State won it with last year. Remember when Ohio State lost, the 4th year in a row to Michigan? They were all crying for Ryan Day's scalp in Columbus. They went into the college football bowl playoff with turmoil, and all they did was won the college football playoff because of the talent they have. And, their talent is unsurpassed, especially defensively for Ohio State. So you got a real good team off a loss with a little bit of a mission to play for here. So I would not step in front of Ohio State. I think they're going to come really hard in this college football
All
playoff.
right, let's take a look at the pros. Who do you like this weekend?
I'm going to look at. We're a little bit limited because of the way the schedule falls this week, but I'm going to look at 2 dogs that are playoff bound that each have revenge. I think they can take advantage of in these games here. The first is today, the Chicago Bears, uh, the home dog, small home dog here, if you will, against Green Bay. And you've got a team here in the Chicago Bears that Ben Johnson may be, for my money, the NFL Coach of the Year this year. I know you can vote for Sean McVay and all the other big name, big team coaches, but he's done a masterful job
Well,
with this team here.
Seattle. If
And
Seattle's the number 1 seed, he might get.
Mike McDonald as well,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. But what this turnaround, that the U-turn that Chicago has made this year has run very, very, very impressive. They're terrific. He is with McDonald. I'm sorry, with Johnson, against teams that have a 250 or better win percentage, 8-1 straight up and against the spread. That means they focus for the better teams. The Bears do. They have revenge, and they happen to be 6-1 to the spread as a home dog coming off a home game. I think they exposed the Packers in this football game. I think Chicago is the team to beat in that division, and I think they'll win this game today.
I think if I had to list the teams in the NFC, I still think the Rams are the best team, and they screwed it up, but they're still the best team. Then Seattle, and then I think Chicago's the 3rd best team now in the conference, above the Eagles. I think even though they beat them, that doesn't mean anything when you get to the playoffs. I think Chicago is playing really, really good football on both sides of the football as well.
Yeah, and they're not getting any respect in this game here. And it's a division game, so they're going to come fully focused in the contest here. They're sitting as the number 2 seed right now in a real lofty position. I don't think they want to even think about giving that away. Green Bay's on the cusp right now at the number 7 seed. But nonetheless, the Chicago Bears, I think right now, as you say, are the better team coming into this game.
Okay, all right. Who else do you like?
The other guy is going to be difficult to pass, and this kind of looks like a trap game. You're saying, what on God's green earth is this team being an underdog for? I'm talking about the LA Chargers against the Dallas Cowboys. But when you dig down deep into the numbers here, it mystifies you because they come into this football game with almost 100 yards the better defense through the Chargers in this football contest. The last two times they played Dallas, a couple 2 years back, they've lost 2 games in a row in the series. Uh, and the Chargers have need in this football game. And here's a football team that right now they're number 5 seed in the AFC division here. The Dallas Cowboys, they're dead in the water. They're not playing for next to anything here. I think the wrong team is favored here, Howard, personally. And I know you could say it's a trap, you're fighting for it and so forth and whatnot. But I like teams that are headed to the playoffs in underdog situations. Give me the points with the Chargers.
When you look at that, if the Eagles win today, and it may be close, and we'll get to that game shortly, then the Dallas Cowboys are done, eliminated. And yet, the odds makers know that's the reality of what's likely to happen, and they still that line is, it's like, what is it there for? Why are the Cowboys favored? Why are the Cowboys favored when it comes to Sunday? They have nothing to play for. That's where it might move a point. I mean, who knows? It might move a point, but what's it, 2.5 now? It might go down to 1.5.
Right.
That number scares me because it's too obvious to take the Chargers. I understand what you're saying because there's need for the Chargers. I'm not impressed with the Chargers, but whatever the case may be, I can't believe the Cowboys are favored, knowing that they won't have anything to play for on Sunday. It's really
It mystifies me as well. But but the common thing that I like to always do is put tape over the names of the teams and look at their body of work as opposed to their name. So I don't fall in love with the team itself and their name. And when you put tape over this game, you're blown away over the fact that the Chargers are not favored in the contest.
Okay. So you like the Chicago today and the Chargers. Uh, what has happened to Tampa Bay? Carolina's played well, and they still favored Tampa Bay. That game, it mystifies me because I think Carolina is on a better path than Tampa is right now. Do you like a side in that game?
This is you talk about a team and putting tape over the names of teams. These two teams have gone completely south in the stats. You've got a Tampa Bay football team that's won the stats in one of their last 11 football games. But Carolina's won the stats in only one of their last 10 games. So you got two teams that are really tanking it. I don't think people realize that about Carolina because they've been a little bit more competitive this year. Tampa's been there and done that before, won the division 4 years in a row. This is a true step-up game for Carolina here, and until they prove they can step up, I'd likely back the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Okay, and there's, the other games that kind of, I guess the number kind of mystifies me a little bit. Although, I mean, the Jets and I know the Saints a 6-point favorite, but again, it's the Jets. The Vikings are so hot and cold, and the Giants stink. Although the Vikings are favored, I would not want to lay points on the road with the Vikings.
Why would you? I mean, J.J. McCarthy, you never know what you're getting. He's like that Forrest Gump box of chocolates quarterback. You don't know who's going to show up for him. The problem with the Jets is they're so god awful. They're involved in the number 1 seed for the NFL draft. I don't think players tank because of that, but they don't have any confidence. That's for sure. To me, it's the ugly Betty game of the week this week. It's either any game the Giants are in or any game the Jets are in. And I think it's a difficult call. I cannot back the New York Jets, though, for the condition.
Okay. Kansas City gets favored every week, and Kansas City is not a good football team. I'm not going to say they stink because it's still Kansas City with the best coach in football. They don't have the best quarterback right now because he's out maybe into next year with that injury. But the reality is they're always favored. But in this case, I don't like to lay points with Kansas City. But in this case, I think they're going to want to have something to prove without Patrick Mahomes. How do you look at that?
Well, I agree 100%. This is like buying your football bet at Costco. You're getting tremendous value in this football game because of what's going on with Kansas City. This is the smallest dog that Tennessee has been all year long, against Kansas City, no less. And now you're getting Andy Reid with a losing record who always tends to play his teams play better for him in those roles. Gardner Minshew makes his start. He's been terrific in his career, his short little career, as a road favorite here. I think this is absolute steal for Kansas City in the football game. Their second team is better than the first team of Tennessee Titans here. I think it's a real steal, and the price is right to back the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is it time to recognize the Patriots as a good football team? Has that time come yet?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're so deep into the season, Howard. They come into this game here, no respect at all. They're coming in here against Baltimore, the team that is supposed to be but hasn't been. And Tampa or New England comes in here with the better offense and the better defense. They've earned their numbers. Their quality of work speaks for itself. I think New England's going to show up in this football game, and I think Baltimore is going to be exposed. Lamar Jackson is not right. We know that, and yet they're still being priced like the Baltimore Ravens when he's healthy.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the Eagles game. I think I can't see. There's no way they're going to lose this game. But the way the NFL scheduled it, they scheduled them twice to play within 3 weeks. But the last game of the season, I mean, Washington won't even want to get off the bus. But really, they won't even want to get off the bus. But the Eagles might need that game. So, for seeding reasons, not for the division. But the reality is, I just can't see the Eagles losing this game. But I don't like the number. Your thoughts?
It's exactly how I look at it, Howard. There's no way in God's green earth the Eagles lose this football game, but I don't know if they could handle the number here, the spread for number one, the way they're playing, and number two, Washington, for as poorly as they played. They're not going to play poorly against the Eagles. This is still the Eagles. It's still a division game, and they will come to play and be up for the contest. It's whether or not Philadelphia will play down to their level. I think there's a better chance that they will than they won't in this football game here. It's just too many points for the Eagles in the condition that they're in. I'll play Washington plus the points, but Philadelphia will win this
Yeah,
game.
it's 7 points. Do we want to make sure that Philip Rivers has health insurance for the game on Monday night against San Francisco? I love Philip Rivers is a great guy, but are you kidding me? They're going to murder the guy. He can't move. Listen, he can run the offense, but he's going to run it from one spot in the backfield. I don't even. It's just, but he's the quarterback, so I guess that's it.
Well, he's not in any kind of shape, that's for. You remember a quarterback named Jared Lorenzen who quarterbacked at Kentucky? I don't know if you remember him or not. He was a big left-handed quarterback. He was like 6'5", and he weighed 290 pounds. Some say he weighed 350 pounds. Well, that's what Philip Rivers looked like in that Colts uniform yesterday or last week. And how many passes did he throw that were more than 10 yards in the game? I don't think there were any.
Nope.
I think it ends up being the end of the story, the road for Philip Rivers in this game here Monday night. Just wrong time, wrong team. They backed around him last week. They got close. They didn't get there. And I think if they lose this game, Philip Rivers will take his insurance money and go home and say, I tried. That's all he can do.
Along those lines, Phillips Rivers, I said, why would he come back? Because he was eligible to be elected to the Hall of Fame this year. So now he's got to wait 5 more years. Why would he come back? Here's the answer. I'm going to give you the answer. Players who retire, right after they retire, get 5 years of health insurance for themselves and their family. He's got 10 kids. All right. Not that he can't afford it. He's got 10 kids. So now he's got 5 more years of health insurance by coming back and playing for himself and his family.
How that, huh? That's a nice little perk.
Yeah, especially in today's world when people, I would say, how many percentage of the country aren't going to be able to afford health insurance with those idiots in Washington allowing to go on what is going on. But that's another story for another day. All right, Mark, you have a Merry Christmas. Have a great week. Is there a team this week in college that you would look for to step? We don't know who the opponents are in most cases, but you kind of have an idea who some of the opponents are and who it would be. And I know you're already working on your newsletter. Is there a team that you kind of look at? And if you don't know, because we don't know the numbers yet, we're not sure but you already said you think Texas A&M could keep on going if they win today. I don't know who they would play, but they would play a weaker team down the road So, well, maybe would they play a weaker
Texas
team?
A&M would play Ohio State is who they'd play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that'd be a real nice matchup, a real difficult matchup to say the least. Texas Tech's going to get the winner of the Miami-Oregon game, and if Miami pulls the rug, that'd be an ideal spot in that particular contest. And you got to watch Georgia here. Georgia's a real nice football team. They're going to play the winner of the Tulane-Ole Miss game today. Now, if Ole Miss does what they're supposed to and wins this game, it's a Southeast Conference rematch here again in this contest here. And I think Georgia's the much better football team. So we'll just see how all these cards play out in the
Right.
college football playoff this week, and we'll be able to ascertain it a little bit better. But I'll text you and keep you in the loop here before they play these games on Thursday.
Well, get ready for Christmas Day when the NFL, the greed of the NFL, they're going to kill the NBA in ratings. But it's all about greed. The NBA has 5 games on Christmas Day, and the NFL has 3 of them. I don't know if I'm going to sit in front of the TV on Christmas to watch all this nonsense. But if you're betting on it, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, Mark, you have a great week. People have interest in your services, 800-321-7777 or on the internet, playbooksports.com. Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, Howard. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Right back to you and everybody listening. Be well, stay safe, and enjoy the holidays.
Okay. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Marc Lawrence, it's just, it is when you look at the games, when you look at the games, it really is really an interesting NFL card. I didn't touch on Jacksonville and Tennessee. Tennessee. I mean, Jacksonville and Denver. Denver always finds ways to win. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case on Sunday. All right. If you want to join the show, feel free. Joe, I saw somebody click in. I don't know if they're still there. Okay. People click in, I guess, to see if their computer works. But we have people, when I say where people are from, they click in. St. Augustine, that's Richard. East Providence, Rhode Island, that's Rich. Lansdale, Pennsylvania. You're still in the area, Jay. And there was some other areas, and I probably have missed them. There was one comment here, and I didn't hear it, but I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond to it. Jason Kelsey, apparently, I say apparently because I see somebody quoted Jason as saying he thinks it's awful that the NFL scheduled the Eagles. He slams the comment here is by Scott. Kelsey slams the NFL for a 5 p.m. Saturday game. Well, who is Jason Kelsey to say, hey, Jason, you made millions of dollars from the NFL. You made millions of dollars because the league, and I don't agree with the league on these Saturday games, but nonetheless, you made millions of dollars and you're going to bitch now because you need something to say for a 5 o'clock game on Saturday. What's the difference? It's just they want games on Saturday, and it's going to be hard for people Christmas Day. I mean, they're on all these different networks. It's going to be hard for people to find the games. I don't know, but the Eagles game I think is normal, but Christmas Day it's on. It's a joke, but it's just a way to bring in more money. And Jason, that's why you made millions, brother. You were a great player, but that's why you made millions. Okay, so just pipe down and just accept all the money, all the dollars that you got from the NFL, and stop bitching about when they play a game. You don't have to play the game. So stop bitching. What does it screw up your Saturday? Because you may have to work on that Saturday? Give me a break. Well, it's just taking millions more from ESPN. Hey, just pipe down. I don't like it, but who cares? That's just the way it is. And the NFL is about making money. All right. Again, let me thank our presenting sponsor, Stillwell Financial Advisors. Jeff Stillwell is a guy that can help you. I know by his terrific advice on money or with your money. Jeff Stillwell Financial Advisors, 732-343-0813. Also, Piazza Property Pros can do a great job because they can help you with your front yard. They can help you make it look great. Front yard, backyard, pool, landscaping, renovation, whatever it is, hardscaping. Piazza Property Pros with 25 years of experience, 25 years, do not subcontract. So you know you're going to get people that are their people. They don't just bring somebody in there for one or two jobs. They do this all the time. Piazza Property Pros, and can do it all. Whether you want a pool, if you're thinking about it, talk to them about it. And if you need pool maintenance, talk to them about that. There's some things that they can do now because with the weather the way it is, pretty much the snow's melted. The ground's a little wet, so there's certain things they can and can't do. But no reason not to talk to them. 610-566-2608, 610-566-2608, or check them out on their website, piazzaoutdoor.com. Also, December, don't miss this great finance deal. When you get 1.99% financing on an automobile, the all-new reconditioned A5, remodeled A5, 1.99% financing up to 72 months. The Q5 SUV, 1.99% financing up to 72 months. Great selection of vehicles out at Audi Westchester, 1421 Wilmington Pike. Go out there, have a little fun, drink a cup of coffee, grab some snacks. Audi Westchester. I mean, who doesn't have fun looking at new automobiles? And the cars are really great looking cars. Audi Westchester. Check it all out at AudiWestchester.com. All right. We have a caller on the line. Let's see if wow. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's I don't know who it is, but let's find out who's on the line.
Hey, Art, how you doing?
Good. What's happening?
So,
What's your name? You didn't put your name up there. What's your name?
Oh, I go by Bach. It's Bill Bacchus.
Okay. All right. You got it.
How you doing? So, I'm so glad I found your show on YouTube because I miss you big time on Saturday mornings. I used to do all my errands and stuff. Used to listen to your show. So glad I found
Yeah,
it.
well, WIP is now a ghost town.
Yeah.
They could turn the signal off on most day parts, and you wouldn't miss a thing. But
Yeah.
that's just the way. It's unfortunate. That's just the way radio is nowadays. But thank you.
Yeah. But that's why I'm calling is I just swear to God, I listen to the radio, in my car and stuff like that, and the people who flip, before the Raiders game, the Eagles were doomed. Jalen Hurts needs to be benched. The coach needs to be fired. Everything. Then they beat the Raiders, who are a high school team at best, and now everybody's all Super Bowl bound and all this other stuff. I think the Eagles haven't won a meaningful game in over a month, and if they don't beat the Bills, I expect them to beat Washington at least once, probably twice. But if they don't beat the Bills, I think they're going into the playoffs with shaken confidence, and I don't think they're going to be able to do anything.
I don't think that. Here's what I don't think is going to happen. They know who they are. They are what they are, and they know that they have some flaws. And there's a lot of teams that have flaws, so they know they have flaws. But I don't think losing. That's a tough game. Buffalo is a good team. They're one of the three best teams in the AFC. They're a good team. They're playing in Buffalo. Buffalo's going to need the game. Then they're going to need the game more than the Eagles need the game because the Eagles will need it just for seeding. Now, I don't think it's going to change their mental approach whether they lose to Buffalo or not, and they may not even need. Well, they may or may not need the Washington game. Washington, that'll be like just get through it and make it a quick game. Just run, and Washington will want to end the game because they would want to get back home. But the Eagles will at least win 2 out of the last 3. So against Washington, I don't know I question whether they'll win at Buffalo, but I don't think it's going to change their mental approach. I don't agree with that. They know who they are, and they've at the quarterback. people get nuts on me and go nuts. The quarterback really, I can't judge his game against, the high school or Division II team, whatever you want to call the Raiders. And Washington is a little bit better, but Buffalo's defense isn't good. They're not going to play a good defensive team the rest of the year. So Jalen Hurts should correct the things, or improve. I shouldn't say correct and improve the areas in which he has struggled in. But we'll see what happens.
Okay. Do you think do you think there'll be, since they may not play a good team, a good defense, I'll say, in the last month? Do you think they're going to go into the playoffs as sharp as they need to be?
Yes. Yep. I do, because the mentality is all different, and regardless of who they play that first week in the wild card game, it's better than the teams are playing now, and they know that. They know that. It's just, uh, I don't even know. You can't even figure out who they're going to play now, because it's just, there's a lot of different things that could happen. But we'll see what will happen. If they play the Rams the first game, that's not a good thing, and there's a chance that could happen, which is crazy that could happen. There is a chance, but it's a chance they could play anybody except probably Seattle. So no, I think their mental approach will be fine.
Okay.
All right.
All
Hey
right,
man,
thanks,
Merry
Howard.
Christmas. Merry
You too. Thanks
Christmas.
very much.
All right. Thanks for
All right.
jumping on the show. I think we have, is George there too? I think we have, okay. All right. Let's go to George.
Happy holidays, Howard. How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
Good. Well, this one would be the only time I'll probably talk about the Sixers. You made me look when they play the Knicks again, and January 3rd, they go up to New York again. That's going to be an absolute massacre, I think.
Yes. And did you look at the schedule? Do the Knicks play the night before?
Yeah, they do. January 2nd, they play home to Atlanta. The Knicks, when they won that tournament game, that joke, half their team didn't play against Indianapolis, so half of them were hungover. They come home, and that game I saw last night, I said, "There's no way
they can't have the Knicks. They cannot have the Knicks play back-to-back games again.
They do. January 2nd, that Friday they play home against Atlanta, and then the Sixers come in Saturday night.
Well, what do the Sixers do that week? They won't have 5 days off.
They probably have 4 days off. I don't
know. Let me see what the Sixers. Would you say it's January 2nd?
January 2nd. That Friday, the Knicks play Atlanta.
Okay, the Knicks. Okay, the Sixers play at Dallas on Thursday, so they're on a road trip. Yeah, they don't have. Is how many days in? There's 31 days in December, right? 31
Correct.
days. Okay. So they have days off. So they've manipulated the schedule again. But the Knicks, it doesn't matter. The Knicks will absolutely destroy the Sixers.
They will crush them that game. That's what you made me do when I said, when do they play the Knicks again? And I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness, they're going back up to New York.
Yep. And it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
If we said in the beginning of the year, you asked us what we thought in our crystal ball, what the Eagles would finish with wins, and I said around 11 or 12. If I told you they would win 11 games, we're sitting there right now, how would you feel about that, them going in the playoffs with 11 wins?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. They're going to win the division. It's not going to change anything. But 11 wins, I think Buffalo's going to need the game a lot more than the Eagles need the game. And I think Buffalo's going to win that game. The Eagles really have to improve in a few areas to beat Buffalo in Buffalo. So I think
the Rams in the first. You made me think before you said that. I'm like, who could the Eagles play in the first round? I'm like, oh my goodness, they might have been playing the Rams.
Yes.
I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, they could play the Rams, and even though the Rams would come here, they've already been here, done that. And it doesn't bother them.
He's such a good coach, Howard. Sometimes I sit there and watch him, and I'm like, man, he comes across a little arrogant, but then I sit there and think about it. He's a good coach. He's just a good coach, and when you're that good, you can be arrogant, I guess.
Hey, just another question about the Phillies. Matt Strum, they got a career minor league pitcher, an up and down a pitcher that's been up and down in the minor leagues every year for the last 3 years. Salary dump?
Howard, you just beat me to it because I had written down here that was the third point I was going to talk to you about Matt Strom. This is definitely salary dump. And part of that, I believe, is do you think it's with JT Realmuto? He wants 3 years and the Phillies are stuck on 2. Is that to maybe put more money to JT?
Well, they're going to have to put more money in regardless of whether they got rid of Matt Strom, but they're going to have to eat a good part of the contract for Castellanos if they get rid of him. So they're still going to have to eat that money. They'll save money, but they'll eat money with Castellanos. I think regardless of what JT Realmuto is going to sign with 2 or 3 years, he's going to get 3 years because he's going to hold out for 3 years. And the Phillies feel like now that they have to sign him. But my problem is, okay, they added Brad Keller, who had 1 good year in the last 5. Oh, he's a good setup guy. He's had 1 good year in the last 5, and it was last year. Paying a guy $11 million a year is nothing anymore. But what have they done to improve the lineup? I'm telling you, I do not believe Garcia will have better numbers than Castellanos had next year. I do not think he will have better numbers.
He's the same. The only difference between him and Castellanos is he's a better right fielder, better defensive.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else, the numbers match. He strikes out as much. It's the same guy. It's basically the same guy.
So the Phillies really haven't improved. They really haven't improved their lineup.
I'm disappointed. I don't like the outfield. Think about it, who we have in the outfield.
Well, eventually you'll have Crawford probably in left and Marshall platoon in center.
There's
stinks. Yeah, he's a 4th or 5th. He's a 4th.
He's
or
a
5th
bench
outfielder.
player, Howard. He's a guy you put in to get a guy.
That's what he is. That's what he is. That's exactly what he is. So it's disappointing. They're not going to do. They're not really going to do. They're not going to do.
Atlanta's going to be better too, Howard. Atlanta is not going to be as bad as they were last year. They had a really off year last year. I don't count Atlanta out in that division either.
It just, I think Atlanta and the Mets will both be better. I think Atlanta and the Mets will both be better this year.
I'm just not happy what the Phillies did. I'm just not. They didn't do anything, and it's disappointing.
Why would you be? Why would you be? All right. Hey, George, have a Merry Christmas.
Hey, I look forward to Wednesday night, Howard, to see the replay of Joey. That was
oh yeah. Well, there's some good shows that I put on the best of on Wednesday night on Christmas Eve.
And thank you for that. And have a great holiday. I'll talk to you next week.
All right. You too. All right. Take care. I believe we have somebody else on the line. Is he still there, Joe? What's that? Okay. Here we go. Hey, Ted, what's happening?
Hey, Howard, how are you?
I'm great. Never had a bad day in my life. How you doing, Ted?
It's great. It's beautiful in Cape Coral.
Cape Coral, Florida, huh?
Yeah. My wife and I just bought a house recently in October, and we're planning on spending a lot of time down here.
Wow. It's just so you're there year round now?
No. We live up in the Maryland area. I have a business up in the Maryland area, so this is kind of our second place.
So are you a Philadelphia person?
Yeah,
okay.
I was born and raised in Prospect Park.
Okay. All right. So what's up?
So Phillies, do you think they're doing what they did with Strom and stuff to do salary dumps to maybe sign somebody that's out there that's bigger?
Yeah, but it's only $7 million.
Right.
Well, they're going to have to sign. They still haven't signed JT Realmuto.
Right.
So, and they'll save money with Castellanos, but they're going to have to eat probably most of his contract.
Right. It's disappointing what they've done. I mean, what it's going to be is it's going to be what it's been the last few years. It's, you're going to have an exciting regular season, and then they're going to get to the playoffs, and they're not going to hit.
So, in other words, you're not that excited about what they've done in the
I'm really
season.
not, because they're basically running the same thing out there again.
Yeah. They're running it back. They've missed their window, and they needed to kind of do something exciting. Schwarber is the same player. I mean, they had to sign him, so it was great that they signed Schwarber, not for that kind of money, but it's still the same team. It's still the same team.
It absolutely is. And then you don't know what Harper's going to do. I mean, I think he's on the decline.
Well, he's not going to have better years than he's had before. He's got 6 more years of Harper and Turner. I think offensively Turner's good, but I just don't think he's a shortstop.
Right. So do you think
Yeah.
the Eagles have to win today?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do. But they're going to win the division. But it
Right.
doesn't. Is as far as seeding, I don't know. Then they'll have no chance of moving up in the seeding if they lose. I think they'll win today, but I wouldn't lay the number. I
Right.
would not. I would not lay the number. So it's just. But are you? Do you think the Eagles are a Super Bowl team?
I don't know. I mean,
Yes, you do. You just don't want to say.
I don't think they are, but you don't know until they get to the playoffs. I mean, the offense has been horrible all year, but the offense was horrible for a good part of last year too. Other than the running game, obviously.
Well, but that's the whole thing. Other than the running game was always good.
Right.
Saquon Barkley, how many games has he rushed over 100 yards? Two, maybe. And
Maybe
the
two.
one
Yeah.
and one he got over 100 yards on the trick play, the fake tush push. That's
Right.
the way he got over 100 yards.
And I
It's
mean,
just
they really didn't run the ball well last week against the Raiders.
no, no, well, they haven't. They haven't. The offensive line's not as good. Things change.
Yeah.
And Saquon, after all those carries last year, can't, everybody says, oh, his legs are the same. His legs are the same. I just don't know. He's fast, but I don't know that his legs are the same, even though he can squat 600 and some pounds. I don't know that makes any difference when you're on a football field.
Yeah, I mean, it was
So,
the same time when they signed DeMarco Murray. I mean, he had that year before that was so great, and when the Eagles signed him, he stunk.
okay.
You know?
I got a comment here, and I don't want you to laugh. It's a Blam man. Is Hurts a Hall of Famer? People tell me he is.
No,
No, no. It's Nono. No, he's not a Hall of Fame. He's
capital
a
A,
good
capital
quarterback.
O.
He's not a great quarterback. It's just,
Absolutely.
all right. Hey, Ted, you have a Merry Christmas and enjoy Florida.
Merry Christmas. Thanks, Howard. Take
All
care.
right. Take care.
Bye
All
bye.
right. I think we have another caller. Do we have another caller that I see pop up? Uh, Okay, Ed, let's have Ed jump on the air. What's happening, Ed? Frame yourself up there. Can you hear me, Ed? Is-
Are you guys able to hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
All
me?
right. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Hey,
Okay.
Howard, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, just those interesting debates come up about the Hall of Fame, and I have another one that, if you don't mind, to switch back to the Phillies.
Go ahead.
What about Trey Turner? If you look at the way his career is going with the batting titles, he has the World Classic Championship, the World Series. He might squeak in, and when I watch this guy play, he's just not a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
Who,
And what is
Trey
your opinion
Turner?
on that?
Trey
Yes.
Turner? No, I don't think Trey Turner's a Hall of Famer. I'll tell you the guy, since you brought up the Hall of Fame, Chase Utley, it was a good player for the Phillies, a very good player. But he's a fraud as a Hall of Famer. He is not close to a Hall of Famer. And I see some of these local writers who have a vote for the Hall of Fame. They ought to take it away. When you vote for Chase Utley to be in the Hall of Fame, you ought to lose your vote. He's had maybe 6 good years. He's got less than 2,000 hits. He's a below average defensive second baseman. Because he was on a World Series team. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. He's not. Jimmy Rollins is more of a Hall of Famer, and he's only borderline. But the Hall of Fame, as far as Trey Turner's a nice player. Yeah, he won. He didn't even recognize him as winning the batting title because the number was so low last year.
Right.
No, Trey Turner is a nice player, but he's not a Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer. His numbers, he'll probably have after his career's over because he's going to play so long. He'll have over 2,000 hits, which really doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame. Larry Bowa had 2,400 hits. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. So it's really a joke.
Completely agree. And you'll annoy a lot of people with that Chase Utley take there. And I loved watching him play. But do you think Utley has some type of deal with MLB? Because he's doing a lot of work for them overseas.
Yeah,
to
he's
try to get a
working.
push?
He's working for them in London.
Do you think there's a push for the Hall of Fame? Anything behind the scenes, or is that just
No,
conspiracy stuff?
well, no, it just because he's working for the league doesn't mean he's all of it. He was never a real talker. Uh, he was never a real talker and real cooperative. He was okay with the media, but now he's chatty Cathy when you want to talk to him. So now
Right.
it's just Utley has more hits than Richie Allen. Richie Allen won MVPs. Richie Allen had more home runs. Richie Allen was a dynamic, and Richie Allen didn't get in the Hall of Fame forever, and he should have been. That is such an asinine. Marion Martin, I'm going to out you, and it's such an asinine. He's more hits than Richie Allen. Chase Utley is not N-O-T. Not a Hall of Famer. Now, as far as Trey Turner, we'll see what he does the rest of his career. It's just, Manny Trio. Somebody pointed out Manny Trio had 3 Gold Gloves, and Chase Utley, Gold Glove. He'd have to buy a Gold Glove. He was a below average defensive second baseman. But as far as Trey Turner, we'll see what he does the rest of his career. But he's got a ways to go.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Somebody, there's a comment up here, and I didn't hear it because I don't listen to him. Because Captain Clickbait, who is Elliot Snore Parks, I can't believe he said that. He thinks that Jalen Hurts is a lock to be in the Hall of Fame. He can't be serious. If he said that, he ought to be committed. He should be committed. I know he's not on drugs. He should be committed. A lock to be a Hall of Famer. You got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh. We have somebody else there, Joe? Oh, okay. Another new caller. Go ahead. Put him up. Hey, Joe, what's up?
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
Another day in paradise, Joe. And one of our callers was in paradise with the palm trees behind him.
Yeah, we have a place down there too, but I hate going down there. That's for my wife, so she can golf when it's warm.
What part of Florida do you live in?
Naples.
Naples is a nice area.
Yeah,
right.
It's a nice, but it's I'm not a Florida guy.
No, it's nice to visit. I wouldn't want to live there. And Fifth Ave is overstated. All the people with money like to go there and just be seen. I think
there's a couple really nice restaurants.
Oh yeah,
that we go to. Baba, which is a Persian restaurant, which is fantastic, and a couple others. But the parking's a mess. During the season, there's too many people down there.
Oh yeah, it's a joke.
So
yeah,
I'm not a fan. I'm here. My wife goes down for the winter, and
I have friends that own a golf course down there called the Hideout.
I know the Hideout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends that live there.
Great people and a great golf course. And another friend of mine works at Pelican Bay. Is it Pelican Bay? Yeah, it's another good golf course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah.
We have other friends that have a condo there in Pelican Bay.
Yeah.
So there's not enough golf courses in Florida, Howard.
Yeah. You can walk. You don't even have to walk a half a block and find another one.
No, and you can go to Calusa Pines. It only costs you $1.3 million to join.
Oh my God!
So it's not for everybody.
No, right. So what's up, Ted? Oh, Joe. I'm sorry. What's up, Joe?
I'm wondering what is going on. Well, first of all, ESP's out of his mind. Jalen's not going to make the Hall of Fame.
Captain Clickbait, Elliot Snore Parks.
Yeah, he's not going to make the Hall of Fame unless he wins 2 or 3 more Super Bowls.
No, and that's not going to happen. And it's just it's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
So the main question I have involves the Phillies.
Yep.
So what is the issue with that team? Is it that Dave Dombrowski has no clue what he's doing, or he is being financially pinched by Mr. Middleton?
Okay, here's the deal. John Middleton, who was worried about his legacy. It's not your legacy, John. He said publicly, well, we got to win a World Series because it's about my legacy. It's not your legacy. First of all, you win a World Series for the fans, and the players get legacies, not the owner. People don't remember who the owners are. All right, that's one thing. But he would spend the money. The problem is he has other owners, and those people care about making money, not just giving away money. His tax last year was probably over 60 million, just tax on his salaries. This year, it's going to be worse. So it's because the other owners really don't want to, the way I understand it, don't want to spend the money to pay more tax because they're families of the previous owners and they just want to make their money. And they don't care about the value of the team going up. They just want to make their money. They don't want it to cost them. So that's the issue they have. They're going to have to sign JT. But the mistake they made, Harper for 13 years was a mistake. Harper was a great player when they signed him. Trey Turner for 10 years because Harper wanted him. They signed him to a big contract. Wheeler, Zach Wheeler is a great pitcher. Unfortunately, he had the injury, but he's got 2 more years at $40 million. Aaron Nola, I don't think you should have signed him to a long-term contract. Walker is a stiff. They made a mistake there. There's other mistakes they made with some of the players, and everybody makes mistakes. Dombrowski always likes to trade minor leaguers for players for today, but the Phillies minor league system is not good enough right now. You can't give up those players. So he's stuck. I like Dave Dombrowski. Has he done I think if you gave him a grade, people big on grades, if you gave him a grade on what he's done, I would give him maybe a C+. That's it. I don't give him anything more, but he's stuck with these contracts. And if they sign JT Realmuto to 3 years, then they've really buried themselves. He's not going to be a good catcher for 3 more years. So those are the problems.
Well, unless you're signing somebody who's 18 or 20, a 10-year contract is never going to end well. 13. No. Forget these guys; they're too old.
All they try to do with those long contracts is decrease the average salary per year, and they don't care about the money at the end because they figure the number will go up on where they have to pay the tax, which is ridiculous. But then you're stuck with those players. Then you're not going to get Detroit. Was it Detroit that had what was Fielder? Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder. I think it was Detroit. They ate 7 years of a contract because they overpaid him because he was a stiff. He was just a stiff. I mean, it's just.
I'm just concerned because beginning of last year, I played baseball at a pretty high level. I mean, I was a pitcher, and when I watched that team play before the season started, they did nothing to fix the bullpen.
Where did you play baseball, Joe?
I played I blew out my shoulder. That's why I know a little bit about.
Okay.
Scouting boards. I played in high school in the Philadelphia area.
Oh, okay.
But
all right.
That's why I'm concerned about Wheeler because I was a trial.
Well, that injury, that is a tough injury. He won't be back for probably a couple months into the season, which is okay. But is he going to be the same pitcher? And I would say there's got to be questions on whether he's going to be the same pitcher.
When I was in a prior life as a civil trial lawyer on the defense side of the scale, I had a case involving thoracic outlet syndrome, which is what he had. And I don't see him ever getting back to what he was.
No,
that's an awful surgery.
And the other thing is Sanchez is going to have as good a year this year as he had last year. He had a great year last year.
He was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, can you get the same thing out of him? I'm not sure. So
I don't know about you. I don't want to see Kerkering ever again the rest of my life. He doesn't. The Phillies specialize in their bullpen. They specialize in ball 1, ball 2. You ever know?
You know what? Their closer now, Duran. Every time he comes in, he gives up a hit.
I know.
It's just a closer is supposed to go 1, 2, 3. That's it.
Yep.
You got all that nonsense with the light show and everything else.
It's just a waste of time. But I don't see them. If you look at them, they've dropped the level every year.
Yeah.
From the World Series to the to the LC, every year now they're, it's just I don't know. That's what's concerning me. I just didn't know whether it's Dombrowski or Middleton or a combination of the two.
It's kind of tough. Hey, Joe, have a great.
You too.
Have a Merry. Hey, thanks for joining, Joe.
No problem. I listen normally, but I had some time this morning to bullshit with you. Howard.
Okay. All right. Anytime.
All right.
Anytime. That's good. It's all good. Somebody else said in a message here, thinks Trey Turner could get 3,000. If he gets 3,000 hits, he's a Hall of Famer. The 3,000 hits should get you into the Hall of Fame. I agree with that. I really agree with that. 3,000 hits should get you to be a Hall of Famer. Do we have one more there, Joe? If we do, if it's a new caller, I'd love to have him on. Okay. Yeah, we got some new callers today. I call them callers. They click in online. All right. Let me, the Phillies, obviously by the fans, they're not overwhelmed with what the Phillies did. What did they do to improve their lineup? Silence is golden. Garcia, does that improve their lineup? And if they trade Bohm, I think they hurt their lineup. Still trying to trade him. They're going to put Sosa at third base. It'll be a part-time utility guy, be your third baseman if you trade. They have a minor leaguer, but he's not ready this year. So it's just the Hall of Fame discussion is kind of interesting. Chase Utley is not a Hall of Famer. How do you get in the Hall of Fame with less than 2,000 hits? Played 16 years? You have less than 2,000 hits? Give me a break. Hey, nice player for maybe 6 years. That's it. Give me a break. None of his numbers qualify him for the Hall of Fame, other than these Philadelphia fans and the ass-kissing Philadelphia media that might vote for him. They are stone cold ass kissers if they vote for him. All right, let me give you. But the Phillies, I don't know. I don't know what they think they're going to do. 162 games to make the playoffs and lose in the first round. Hey, it is what it is. And don't call me a hater. I don't want to hear that. You tell me, and the people that have joined the show tell me they're not convinced they've done anything. All right, here's the question. To win a pair of Oakley sunglasses, submit your answer to my website, howardeskin.com, by midnight, Friday, December 26th. Because we have the whole week, because we have the best of shows this week. Submit your answer to howardeskin.com by midnight, Friday, December 26th, the day after Christmas. We'll announce it on the show on Saturday morning at 8, live on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube, and you're automatically notified when the show comes on. And also, if we get my website working, I made picks. There's 4 more picks left on my picks page for today, which benefit one last night, taking Alabama. We got 4 more games that I picked for a donation. Benefits Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center. Very, very good, very, very good people, and very good to all the dogs and cats and all the little critters and big critters, some of them. But that's important. All right, here's my question. Marc Lawrence, the team he thinks that has a good shot to win a national championship. He mentioned a team that he thought had a good shot to win the national championship. You submit that answer to my website. If it's correct, you'll be selected at random from other correct responses, and you will win a pair of Oakley sunglasses. Thanks to Joe Gangemi. Hey, Ed, you came in too late, Ed. You got to jump in earlier. But, Ed, call us next Saturday. Thanks to Joe Gangemi for all the technical stuff on the other side. Thanks to Tony Anastasia for all help with the graphics and the website stuff. Do it all. And thanks to you for being a part of this show. And always Marc Lawrence on Saturday. We'll have him next week. It'll be interesting, but the Eagles win today. I wouldn't don't lay the number. Do not lay the number. There's no way they lose, but don't lay the number. And thanks to all the people, a lot of comments here. Manny Trio was a better second baseman than Chase Utley. who's a better second baseman than Chase Utley in a lot of ways. Better second baseman. Uh, uh, it's just I'm looking, see if there's any other comments I want to touch on. I miss Nikos. You miss me on drive time, but radio is a dead issue. By the way, the Phillies are not going to re-sign Suarez. Yeah, I mean, radio is done. They're not as much fun to listen to radio, and that's why some car manufacturers are eliminating AM/FM radio from their automobiles. So, but everybody, have a Merry Christmas. Those celebrating Hanukkah, hope you're having a happy Hanukkah, and have a Merry Christmas. Wednesday night, the best of segments of the best of shows on Wednesday night. One of those is Joey Merlino, who's ask him about all the alleged crimes. But we'll have that on Wednesday night. And thank you, and have a great weekend, and enjoy it. Get your last minute shopping in, and enjoy your Christmas. To everybody, Merry Christmas.